Hi, my name is Nyogi. I'm from New Zealand. I came to Dubai in 2015 after I got a role at Emirates Airline, and I've been here since the last 10 years. Currently, I'm working at a local family-owned business called the Khanoo Group. It's a large, diversified organization in the Middle East region, spanning across Bahrain, Saudi, UAE, Oman. And I'm working as the head of digital transformation, AI and robotics of that company. I joined them in October last year. There's been quite an interesting journey, to say the least, because this is a very legacy organization, 135 years old, so it has had a lot of manual processes, paper-based manual processes, which I have been working on to digitalize, automate, and then and AI enable them. So that's my current role and my journey so far in the UAE. Before that, I was in New Zealand and I've worked in multiple organizations. Overall, I've been in the industry for just around 29 years now. Started as a software developer, but now more into the management side of things. Yeah, so as I was saying, in this organization, which is a large diversified conglomerate with multiple business verticals into different kinds of businesses also, from shipping to travel to heavy machinery to oil and gas, real estate, etc. Working in an organization like this, when you want to do digital transformation, you need to have a clear strategy from the beginning. And that's what I have been doing, when I joined them in October last year. So my focus has been basically two-pronged. One is when I joined them, I saw that a lot of people were quite averse towards technology in general, right? They were very comfortable with their manual ways of working, paper-based processes. So one of my objective or part of my strategy, core strategy, was to get them excited about technology, the new tools. AI was already quite prevalent, but they were quite averse to that because of a number of reasons. Obviously, the traditional fear of job loss, everything was there. So one of my core objectives was to empower everyone and enable everyone to have access to technology. So I initiated a program to give everyone access to generative AI in the company. So we already had partnership with Microsoft. We rolled out the Copilot to everyone so that people can experiment, play with it. We just didn't let them do whatever they want with it. We had a structured program to help them use it. We ran courses, me and my team ran courses on prompt engineering, showed them how it can help them in their day-to-day work, operations, whatever that might be. But the focus was more on helping them do their own stuff better. So help them improve their productivity, efficiency, etc. The second core part of my strategy when I joined them was to work with specific business divisions, whether it's shipping or our oil and gas energy division or the heavy machinery division, to pick up some real pain points which they had. Because we wanted to get some runs on the board as well, because the generative AI is not that easy to measure when it comes to ROI. I mean, it can be measured, but it takes a while. So we needed to get some runs on the board, get people really excited about the new technology and the tools that was coming. So we identified specific use cases. Most of them were low-hanging fruits. I can give some real examples also. For example, we worked with our machinery division, which basically sells and services heavy machinery to B2B customers here, which could be cranes or different kinds of other lifting machinery, pallets, etc. Now these are even generators, diesel generators. So these need to be serviced. So one problem we faced is like these service technicians who are going to service these equipments that we sell had to spend a lot of time going through these manuals, which were sometimes in PDF format or in paper format, depending on the supplier or the manufacturer. So they had to take a lot of time to find the right place where the information is. So we just leverage AI to kind of train the tool that the app that we built with all the contents of these manuals. So the service technicians could just speak to this application and explain the problem, and it will just surface the right solution in a matter of seconds in front of them, right? So this basically helped them do their job much quicker. They could service more customers per day, and the outcome was much better. Another one we did was for our energy division, where the salespeople needed to, because we mainly work with B2B customers like EPC contractors, etc., in large-scale industrial projects. So they didn't always have access to all the tender. I mean, it was there publicly in the tender boards as well as in some databases, but they couldn't surface it when they needed it. So we created another AI application where the sales agent could just talk about, show me all the tenders which Larsen & Toubro, for example, one of our customers is managing. And it will give all the information in a matter of seconds. It will also give the contact person's details, who they can contact. So even when they're driving around, they can just talk to it. It's a voice-enabled AI app. So these are some of the examples. We also did a lot of work for back office like HR, where they were facing a lot of challenges when it comes to talent acquisition. A huge number of applications, as we know, especially in this part of the world. If you float a vacancy, there is a lot of applications. So how do you screen the candidates quickly? So we built specific apps for them. So we took this two-pronged approach, and that has really worked for us so far. Okay, so talking about our partnership with Kissflow. So I just want to circle back to what I said earlier around the strategy. The two-pronged strategy that I initiated when I joined this organization. So I very quickly realized that one thing that was missing from when I wanted to go from one place to another, like if we are starting at the bottom where we are enabling generative AI for everyone, and then we are also developing these custom applications, but we cannot ignore the things that are happening in the middle, right? Because everything has to be joined up. That's when you get the full digital transformation circle completed. So we, like all organizations, have our core applications like ERPs and CRM. In fact, we have two ERPs, SAP and Oracle. And we very quickly realized, and no surprises there, that we needed what I would like to call a middleware or a glue, which joins everything together, right? So we have been looking for a platform which will enable us to do that, so that we can use this platform and the tools that come with the platform to help us basically convert this paper forms, processes, workflows, and digitalize them in the first instance. But use this opportunity to also transform these processes, re-engineer them. Because some of these paper-based processes were created probably 30, 40 years back, and nobody even bothered to look at it because it's a paper form. So all you can do is change the logos here and there and make it a little bit more beautiful, but the underlying process is actually not joined, or it's kind of broken in a way. So this also gives us an opportunity to re-engineer it where it's needed. If it is not broken, obviously we don't fix it. But we were looking for a platform or a tool which will help us do this. And we went through an extensive exercise of due diligence with potentially all the players in this field who offer such platforms or tools. And we finally zeroed in on Kissflow. And I'm happy to say that as of now, it has been just over a month and a half, I guess, that we have partnered with Kissflow and we have started the journey with them. I think we have made the right choice. I feel very confident, even though it's early days, but still I think because it's exactly what we envisaged it to be, right? So we wanted a platform and the tools that comes with the platform, which will enable us to do things on our own, because we have a lot of institutional knowledge in the organization. Being a legacy organization, 135 years old, average tenure of employees in this organization is 25 years plus. People join this company, they never leave, right? So, and for good reasons. It's a family business, so the atmosphere is very comfortable, homely, family. So there is a lot of knowledge in the employees' heads, which we wanted to utilize, rather than bring in consultants or third parties or system integrators who will tell us how to run our business. We didn't want that. We wanted just the tools so that we can do things what we needed to do ourselves. So Kissflow has allowed us to do that. The other thing we liked about Kissflow is their vision, mission and motto, I guess, in a way. Not sure if I'm stating it correctly, but what I have seen or learned so far is they are very passionate about this whole concept of citizen development. They really don't want to promote their professional services or send us to a system integrator like the large ERP companies, SAP or Oracle does. They will sell you the license and then they will ask you to go to a system integrator to implement it, right? But the Kissflow's model is totally opposite. They want the companies to utilize the tool that they passionately build to their advantage without putting extra burden on buying professional services. If you want, they do offer it. But I think their core objective, even I think I've heard from their founder and CEO that this is what they want this company to be. And that's quite aligned to what we wanted. So far, touch wood, fingers crossed, it has been a really good journey and we hope to continue this collaboration and partnership with them. Where I see the journey with a platform like Kissflow going, I think as I said, it's that essential backbone or middleware or glue, whatever term you want to use, that's required for any organization, big, medium, large, small rather, because all organizations have the same challenges, give or take, right? Obviously, larger organizations have the percentage of challenges is higher, but it's always there in every organization where you have the systems of records, which is your ERPs of the world or the core systems, and then you have your the front end. But then what joins these two together? So that's where a platform like Kissflow is very critical and needed, because that joins everything together and it becomes a seamless end-to-end process. It's not a replacement for anything, but it's that, as I said, the best way to describe it is that glue or the middleware which joins everything together, right? The entire ecosystem. And why it is critical, and because obviously as the head of AI, I also aspire and have plans that have been also approved by our board around how we can embrace the agentic AI ecosystem for the company. But to get there, we need this platform, whether it's Kissflow or something similar, which will join our systems of record, the back end and the front end, so that it becomes one seamless process. Then we can look at deploying agents which will work autonomously, because without these joined up processes, there is no way you can deploy the buzzword of these days, which is AI agents or the agentic AI ecosystem. So that's very critical. So we see this journey absolutely critical for us, and Kissflow is also investing in the agent space, is what I hear. So we will see how that evolves, and we'll leverage that to the fullest extent. In terms of advice to other organizations, I think it's very important to look yourself in the mirror, right? I mean, reflect on where you are in your journey towards, whether it's digitalization, transformation, or AI, right? So that self-reflection is very critical. I see, because of whatever reason, pressure from the board or the owner of the company or the CEO, whoever, my peers blindly jump onto the AI bandwagon, right? Because they have to show that they are doing something in AI just to remain in their roles or be relevant or prove something. But it comes back like a boomerang, right? Because eventually you will have to justify whatever you are doing, the investment you are making. And if it doesn't generate any ROI, you will be answerable someday to someone, right? So there is no way out of this. So what has worked for us in our organization and for me is that we took that step back where we looked at our current state, evaluated where we are, because it would have been very easy for me to say, okay, let's get some big companies to come in and deploy AI agents. But I know for sure even then, and I was lucky enough to convince my board and my management that we need to wait. We are not there yet to get into that space. Before that, we have to fix our basic foundation problems or the messy middle, where we have disjointed processes and workflows and systems. So because we are doing that now, we can then portray to our management and the board that yes, AI is the next step, logical step. But so that's the main thing I would say. And the other key aspect that I want to highlight is involve your business from day one. That has really worked for us, and thanks to platforms like Kissflow, which allows us to work with them. So I know citizen development is a term which has a lot of connotations, some of them negative, especially in the IT side of things, because of number of reasons. IT people feel they're losing control, business will take over their roles, and it will be anarchy and everything. But for us, how we have worked with the business in this concept of citizen development is we have created a center of excellence where we work with business in a co-located space with the specific units that we are working with. For example, we are working with finance now. We have started working with our energy division. So IT and business work together to co-create these processes or applications using the platform like Kissflow. Even AI applications that I mentioned earlier, we have built with them. So we actually jokingly call it vibe coding with the business. So we whatever tools we use these days, there are plenty of tools out there. You don't need to have a software background to really start coding, and business users are doing it anyway themselves. So how to leverage that enthusiasm and turn it to your advantage so that it helps you gain the sponsorship support from the business. Not only that, it makes the adoption, the resistance to change much easier to manage, and the deployment cycle is much faster. Those days of where you had to follow the traditional software development life cycle, where you will have a business analyst going to the business, understanding their requirements, coming back, talking to the developers, those days are gone in my view. Nobody has the time, and the world is changing too fast for that. So to remain relevant in the changing environment, business needs to adopt and change fast. So this really is the way forward, is what I believe, and this will be my recommendation, that you work with the business, embrace them, make them your co-workers. This will really help in many ways, both in terms of adoption, return on investment, identifying the right use cases, getting the sponsorship, support, etc. Yeah, just would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for tuning in and listening to what I had to share. Really appreciate that, and would love to keep engaging with you guys in the future. Share our learnings, learn from you, because this is a community, and we want to keep exchanging thoughts and ideas, and opportunities like this are the right ones to do so. Thank you.